Welcome to the Christian School at Castle Hills Intermediate Open House Coffee today. In the past, thousands of families have joined this amazing school where we've been changing our world by changing young lives since 1961. Through this brief time together, you'll meet teachers and staff and find out why this might be the greatest school in South Texas, maybe the galaxy. And one more thing, not only would you become part of this greatest school ever, but let me assure you, the affiliation that our school has with Safe Smart Schools will also make this the safest school in South Texas. Being part of Safe Smart Schools gives us 12 safety and sanitizing protocols that make us the leading school in our region in maximizing the minimizing of the transfer of germs on campus, from the common cold all the way up to everything else. We have completely reinvented how we do school on campus for the safety of your students and your family. So sit back now for this Castle Hills Open House Coffee. You will see how and why this works. I hope you'll note that God is at work in the lives of the kids, which is more than just a slogan. God really is at work in the lives of the kids, and that changes everything in what happens here on the campus. Second, you'll see how the right people are standing at the front of the room. Amazing teachers, not just in terms of their credentials or their years' experience or their advanced degrees, but just who they are as people and the way they pour themselves into the lives of our students. And then finally, you'll see how we develop servant leaders, beginning in the earliest grades all the way up to amazing experiences for every grade level as kids grow up through the school. Enjoy the talk and the tour today, and I hope to see you with us this fall. God bless you real good.
Hi, I'm Susan Covarrubia, Director of Admissions at the Christian School at Castle Hills. Thank you for joining us for our Intermediate School Open House Coffee. Grab your cup of coffee at home and join us for the next few minutes as we discover a little bit more about intermediate school. We're here in our wonderful library, and I am joined by Mrs. Garza and Mrs. O'Brien, two of our intermediate school teachers. And let me start with Mrs. Garza. Would you share with us a little bit about the curriculum and how we handle Bible and chapel?
I'd love to. So I'm primarily a science teacher, although I do get the blessing of being a Bible teacher as well. And in my science class, I love a couple things about my science class. The first thing that I love is that I get to teach everything from the perspective of God as the creator. So I bring everything and I point it back to God as creator. The second thing I love so much about my science class is that I get to be really hands-on with what we're learning. Right now, my students are completing a Rube Goldberg assignment, and they're learning about the STEM process and engineering and design. And so the kids are getting to be real hands-on with what we've been learning about Newton's laws of motion and simple machines. So we're bringing tying a bow with this hands-on project. So that's a lot of fun. My second love for sure, or maybe even my first love, is teaching Bible class. I absolutely love it. And what I love is that in addition to teaching some really good doctrine and theology and staying very scriptural, we also really get to apply it to the students' lives. So it makes sense to them in where they are with their walk with the Lord. So I love that about it as well. We get to go to chapel every Wednesday, and the kids just love hearing every week from Mr. Pinkston and other speakers, and also just getting to worship. They love getting to worship. They learn how to take notes and just really grow in their walk with the Lord.
Great. I know one of my favorite experiences is listening to kindergarten through fourth grade students worship the Lord, hands raised. That is by far one of the best days on campus. Miss O'Brien, this is your first year at Castle Hills, and so I'd like you to share, if you could, a little bit about the homework load at intermediate school. And I know personally, since your son was in intermediate school, you can definitely speak to that.
I can. We really like for families to have time together in the evenings. So we try to not give a large workload of homework. Majority of the homework will be math, and that's usually a couple times a week. It's good practice, good review. Kids need to stay on top of that. But the other classes really just depends on what they're doing in each particular subject. And one thing that I love about intermediate that has helped me as a mother is study hall time.
Sure.
So depending on what elective students choose, they can have up to a couple times a week where they'll get a study hall during the day. And then every afternoon, about 15 or 20 minutes of the end of the day is a built-in study hall time. And that's a really good time for students to look at what they have in their planner, go to other teachers, ask for help, get some clarification before they go home. And they can really get a lot done if they use their time wisely and are good time managers.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Ms. Garza, if you would talk a little bit about the structure of our intermediate school, how we rotate classes, and really what the value is of that schedule.
Absolutely. So our kiddos generally will have about 4 teachers that they will rotate classes with. They have a homeroom teacher that kind of keeps tabs on them throughout the day. And then within our same hall, so they're in one hall, contained in that hall kind of most of the day, except for going to PE, to lunch, that kind of idea. So they will rotate between classes. And then they get to go to lockers, and they have all kinds of great things to keep them organized as they go from class to class as well. One thing I love about intermediate school here, it's a little unique compared to other schools, but what we offer is a beautiful bridge that takes us from elementary on into middle school. So in elementary, where they're not trading classes that often, and middle school, where they're trading classes almost all day, we're trading a little bit more, but still being able to keep an eye on them, to come alongside and help them with organization and different things as well.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to have as well. In addition to a regular core curriculum through the intermediate school, there are electives that they get to choose from. And in a moment, I'm going to ask Ms. O'Brien to share a little bit about the electives. But part of the other structures is they're going to have technology once a week. They'll have Spanish once a week. They'll go to PE every day. And then there are enrichment opportunities like science fair, speech meet, math Olympics that they can participate in as well. But Ms. O'Brien, share with us a little bit about the fine arts elective options.
Sure. There's art. For 5th and 6th grade, they can do art, they can do choir, or they can do drama. And then 6th graders also have the chance to do band. And they have a lot of chances to go to competitions, to do things with kids in other grades. If they do drama, they have a chance to even be in high school plays. So there are a lot of opportunities for the fine arts here.
Great. I do want to also make sure that we share it with our families that we like to have fun on campus as well. So Mrs. Garza, tell us a little bit about the fun days on campus.
We absolutely love to have fun. I'd like to call myself the captain of fun. And what we get to do a couple of parties. We start out in our fall party. Sometimes we go to a corn maze or something like that, or we have played minute to win it games or things like that, just to bring in fellowship, especially for new students coming on board so that they can feel part of our beautiful Castle Hills family. We have a Christmas bunko party, which is fast-paced, and the kids just absolutely love playing that. And then we love wrapping up our year with a wonderful end-of-year party as well.
Yeah, you'll find we like to have fun, but we also like to work really hard. And so there's a nice balance of that for our students. Well, thank you so much, Mrs. O'Brien and Mrs. Garza. We're going to head up to the Victory Gym and meet our athletic director, Coach Wintercheck.
We are here in the lobby of our Victory Gym with Athletic Director Coach Wintercheck, who's going to share with you how we are developing our intermediate school students through our intermediate school athletic program. Coach Wintercheck.
You know, Susan, our intermediate students here have a great opportunity because in the 5th and 6th grade, they're able to participate in athletics. And so we're trying to develop them on multiple levels. The first way is that we're introducing kingdom athletics to them. So each day, their coaches are doing a devotion with them that is sent to them by our athletic department. So we're building that spiritual side of the child. They also have the opportunity to learn fundamental skills in practices and in games so that they're equipped to be able to succeed as, as a middle school and a high school athlete as well.
That's great. And this all works in line with our vision statement to develop tomorrow's servant leaders today. Thank you, Coach Wintercheck.
To learn more about the Christian School at Castle Hills, please visit us online at castlehills.school or give me a call at 210-878-1001. I will be available for the next hour to answer any of these questions following our coffee. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our intermediate school open house coffee. To join us for our preschool open house coffee, click here. To join our elementary open house coffee, click here. For the virtual tour of our campus, click here. And to join our secondary open house coffee, click here.